What up, socialites? Welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo.
I'm going to be in Gaspar's neck of the woods next week in Long Island at Governor's. And then I'm going to be in Hartford, Connecticut. Come to that. And then I'm going to be in Toronto and Des Moines and St. Louis and Madison, Wisconsin and Springfield, because those shows got all moved around. And where else? I don't know. You name it. I'm coming there. Check my website, thejoedombrowski.com.
Joe, that's so crazy that you're going to be in Long Island, you know? It would be so nice if you had a visitor.
You're not even going to be there.
I will be in Portland, Oregon. I will be in Naples, Florida, Boston, Massachusetts, Staten Island, Philadelphia, West Hartford, Connecticut, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Plano, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Long Island, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, Seattle, Washington, and Chicago, Illinois. Get tickets at GaspareRandazzo.com. That's Gaspar with a G. G as in GaspareRandazzo.com. A as in it's GaspareRandazzo.com. S as in shh, I think that's GaspareRandazzo.com. P as in Peter, look, it's GaspareRandazzo.com.
You're not done.
I could go all day.
Yeah, please don't. Anyway, let's start right off the bat. We got on Patreon a really good Am I the Asshole? Again, you could become a Patreon member at patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast and send us your Am I the Assholes all the live long day. Here we go. Hi, Joe and Gaspar. First off, love you both, and I am obsessed with the podcast. I listen all the time and have to control my laughter when I'm in the classroom planning during a free period while my students are with another teacher. I need to know if I'm the asshole here. My boyfriend and I moved into a condo building, and we are the youngest of all the owners. Our neighbors are mostly retired, and they're super sweet. However, almost 2 years of living here, I suddenly feel like I'm living with stoners. Multiple times I wake up in the middle of the night confused because of our entire condo smells of weed. One night I parked my car and even the garage smelled like weed. I assumed someone smoked there, and I thought I can agree with that choice if it's too cold outside in the winter. But when I got into the hallway, it was like a hot box in there. And don't get me wrong, I indulge myself, but I've never been one to stink up common areas. The confusing part is to figure out which of my sweet old neighbors is getting stoned in the building in the late hours of the night. I've wondered if I should say anything at the condo meetings, but I don't want to be that person. Am I the asshole for thinking that you should smoke with the door open at the kitchen fan or even outside? It's funny because I have had thought us youngsters would have been the ones causing this shit. Yes, you can use my name, but I'm not going to. Thank you. You want to go first?
Okay. Here's my thoughts. Like, if she smokes her, like, I can understand, like, if I was like annoyed as a non-smoker, I'm like, this smell, like, I don't like, smelling like the pots. So like, I could understand, like, I don't want to breathe it in. Cause me, if I was in the hole and it smelled like weed, I would put my hand over my nose and run because I didn't want to get high. You know what I mean? I'd be nervous that I would go to jail. So like, I don't know, but like, can you smoke in a common area in today's world, being that it's legal? Oh no, because you still can't smoke can you smoke in your house? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Can you imagine if it was against the law to smoke in your house? That'd be wild.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, what laws are as far as, like, if you're in a building, if you smoke, don't smoke detectors, then, like, put water in, the air, the alarms or whatever.
I don't know if it's just because I'm older now. I think that is why. But when people are like, do you want to smoke this J or this blunt? I'm always like, no, I want to eat an edible and go to bed. I don't want to smoke this and cough and smell like it and all of that. I just want to, like, it's just so much. I'm just going to say it. It's a little more refined to eat an edible. You're a little more, you're a little more discreet. You're a little more
Yeah.
under the radar, right? And a vape pen will be the same thing. A vape pen still does have a smell though, but to like straight up smoke it, fine. I'm not judging, but like, of course, have some decency to not smoke. And if you are in a condo or an apartment, it's gonna get into other people's places, regardless.
Yeah.
So just like go outside, and if it's cold, you chose to live there.
Well, here's my question. Is an edible the same as a marijuana?
What is your question?
Like, is edible same as smoking marijuana?
In terms of what?
Like, is it the same high and feeling?
No.
Oh,
You get, to me, in my experience, you get way higher. Okay, first of all, being high, it takes you a long time to realize this when you're in college. Like, it's like drinking. Like, Gaspar, like the more you smoke, like the higher you're just gonna get like blown out of your fucking skull. But
okay.
edibles, it's the same. So you can't just keep eating or you're gonna get so motherfucking blitzed out of your brain. And you don't
If so,
want that because edibles last longer because it's like in your like bloodstream and
bloodstream. Yeah.
digested. Yeah, you're like high for a long, like if you smoke like a couple puffs of a J, like you're gonna be high for like a couple hours. That's it.
Hours?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
What
scary.
what did you think?
I don't know. I thought
You're
like
just high
every
for like
puff
a
was maybe
minute?
like 20 minutes.
Oh no. And also like drinking, you build up a tolerance too. So if I'm
Like,
like
wait,
smoking or eating a lot of edibles like that week or month, and then I like don't for like a long, long time, when I go back to do it the next day, I'll be like, I'm so fucking high. Yeah, it's crazy.
like if I have one beer, I'm very drunk. Like not very
Yeah,
drunk, but I'm
you're
feeling
weird.
it. Like my nose starts tingling and I'm like, oh, like the room's
Gasper, you're
rocking.
drinking a beer, not doing fucking meth.
Meth. I know,
Chill.
but it depends on the beer. It does. Like I could drink two Coronas and not be drunk, but I only drink twice a year, if that.
Now, what do you think is worse for you? Drinking a little bit or eating the like pig slop way that you eat?
It's not, but I don't drink for health reasons. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm
No,
gonna,
I know, but still.
yeah.
If drinking
Oh,
is just
no.
poisoning your body, I still do it,
I
but
mean,
whatever.
the thing is, like, I've maintained, aside from eating Green Chef, I've maintained, I've maintained my body by not
Mhm.
drinking because I eat horrible. But I'm always like, oh, I didn't drink, so I've saved some calories on that end. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda.
Like because like I don't drink, so like I think it's healthier. I mean, obviously it's healthier. There's nothing healthy about drink. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I've chosen to just do all the calories from the food. Also, just want to say, unless they want to sponsor the podcast, then I love them. But I ate Wingstop this week twice. Did you ever have Wingstop?
Well, I don't understand.
Did you ever have
Oh, the
Wingstop,
restaurant. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
chain?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. Like I'm a Buffalo Wild Wing guy all the way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. But Buffalo Wild Wings also gross.
why? It's
Like
real.
it's
It's
just like
wings. It's real chicken.
I don't know, man.
No, I think it's the better of the options. Also, I've come to this new realization that if you want French fries, don't go to the store and buy a bag of French fries. I don't know how much fries are by you, but a bag of fries is like $8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A French fries from a pizzeria or a diner, they're charging you like $5 for a basket of fries,
Yeah.
and they're already cooked. They're delicious. They perfected it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not just coming out of a bag and it's $5 and you don't have to have that greasy smell in your house.
Oh, that's great. Dude. the worst. I was at a club recently, one of the comedy clubs, and the
Oh,
fucking kitchen vent pumped out into the green room. And every
oh,
night when I would go back to my hotel, I was just like, I smell like gross, nasty, greasy kitchen, and I
yeah.
hate it.
Dude, you know what's crazy too? Like I was in a bar last week. I did a show and I went to a bar after with my friend and we were in the bar at like 10:30 and we were looking around and I was like, if I never entered a bar again ever in my life, I would be okay with that. Like I literally was like, I don't like this. Like just like the
What was
people
it?
in it was just a bar. It was just like it was loud. There was like a DJ.
Dude,
Like it was
oh
just
my God. We are
like
like old ass people now. I am the
yeah.
same way. I'm like, no,
Well, like
no.
first we had a table and it was nice. We were just talking, and then
Yeah.
like people started like leaning on the table, and I was like, all right, this is a little annoying. And then a fucking DJ came. They were throwing around a beach ball. I was like, a beach ball? I'm trying to eat.
Hell no.
Like, it was so sad.
I want like a wine bar. Yes, a cocktail bar that's like, like you can't
Low
stand around. They
key.
make you sit it. Yeah, low key. Like a jazz club. Shit like that. I'm like, yes. That shit's my vibe so hard right now. God, am I a boring person? And then I look at all these fucking guys on the internet and they're just like, I'm in Mykonos at a rave with a fucking 19 pack. I'm like, actually, but also fuck you.
But they also probably didn't eat for a week and just did, you know, drugs to keep
Copious
them
amounts of
alive
drugs. Yeah,
while they're
whatever.
dancing.
Hey, you guys like hero bread? I love hero bread too. It's me, Gaspare Randazzo, talking to you about hero bread. Listen, if you're a hero and you like bread, you will love hero bread. Their bread is so good. It is baked to deliciousness, and the flavors have ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and they're high in fiber. So you're gonna be nice and regular. Listen, I love how soft and delicious hero bread is. Every time I take a bite of their fluffy Hawaiian rolls, I just think about how badly I want to go to Honolulu. It's the most nutritious bread I've ever eaten in my life. You can have a healthy work week when you make your sandwiches in hero bread. It's an easy breakfast, an easy lunch. You can even put it in an enchilada, although I don't eat enchiladas because my esophagus is cracked open from a spicy jalapeno pepper I had in 1999. Listen, you got to get your hero bread and you got to get it right now because if you're cutting down on sugar and trying to add more protein, you definitely need a bread that is a hero. So, are you excited about Hero Bread's brand new everyday favorite Hero Classic plain bagels? I sure am, because the only bagels I eat have 4 grams of net carbs, 0 sugar, and 19 grams of protein. And I wash that down with a couple eggs, too. Listen to me. I want you to eat Hero Bread, and I want you to eat it today. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Why am I turning into Gilbert Godfrey? Go to herobread.co and use code SOCIAL at checkout. That's social at HERO.CO.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. Here's the deal, guys. I'm in the classroom. I'm talking all day long. My voice is scratchy. It's hurting. And sometimes I just I eat a lot. I'm snacking through the day and I need a little extra something. And water's just not doing the trick anymore. I like drinking water, but I like it a little more when I'm adding a little Liquid IV. So let me explain to you. You take Liquid IV, you tear it open, you pour it, you enjoy it. The flavors are absolutely delicious. They got acai berry, lemon lime, pina colada, firecracker, rainbow sherbet, white peach, raspberry, lemonade. It literally, some of these flavors make me feel like I'm a kid again. I want to put it in the freezer, put it in the water in the freezer, and then put it in my mouth because it's delicious and it would taste like an ice pop. Not sure how that all came out, but you know what I'm talking about. The thing about it is it hydrates you quick, break the mold and change the way that you drink water. It's delicious. It's good for you. It gives you 3 times the electrolytes of any leading sports drink. And it has 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So pretty much everybody can drink it. So treat yourself to extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SOCIAL at checkout. Take 20% off your first order with code SOCIAL at liquidiv.com.
I have another Am I the Asshole?
Oh, wait, before we do that, I do want to read something to you guys of,
Please
this is not an Am I the Asshole? This is just, you're an asshole, not you. Someone left a review on the podcast.
Yes, you cannot get over this. Like, this has been festering. Like, I knew when you sent it to me, I was like, this guy is losing his fucking marbles.
Oh, no. I'm not losing my mind. But I actually did post it in the Patreon, and you guys were very sweet in the Patreon about it. So, Joe, I just wanted to apologize because now that I read this comment, I realized that I am ruining the podcast, and I'm sorry, Joseph.
Shut up,
Someone left a review on our podcast, so maybe you could go on and leave a review and say something nice to make me feel a little better. She said, it's a public comment, so I don't feel bad reading her name. Kiara. You spelled my name wrong. Maybe I'll mispronounce your name. She said, Gaspare makes this podcast unlistenable. The constant interruptions with nonsense are incredibly annoying. Also, how can he be a teacher when he knows nothing and can't pronounce words correctly? Joe is great and should find a new co-host. Joe, who are you thinking about bringing on as a new co-host now that I can't pronounce words?
I'm glad that you brought this up. I've been meaning to tell you something.
Also, Kira, I have 2 master's degrees and I actually can pronounce a lot of words correctly.
Wait, you can pronounce a lot of words correctly, and you can also pronounce a lot of words not correctly. What are you talking about? You have 2 master's degrees.
I have special ed license as master's, and I have a sign language. I have 78 credits in sign language.
Wait, you have a master's degree in sign language?
Well, it's not a thing, but I have 78 credits in it. So what would that be? What's 78 credits in one subject? I would consider myself a master. Maybe that's why Kira don't like me, because I don't.
Gaspare,
is it an actual degree?
Masters, you don't understand. Gaspare, you're not going to sit here and tell the people that you have a master's degree in sign language because you took a lot of credits worth of
78 credits, and I went to a specialized school for it, and I got a certificate that said I was a master.
Not a master's degree, you liar.
No. It said I was a master of sign language. It's not a master's degree, but it said I was a master of the language. I have mastery of it. Are you Googling it now? How many credits is a master's degree?
The average master's degree is between 30 and 60 credits. But that doesn't mean that you have a
triple master's. I have 3. I have 2 masters in sign language. One's in regular sign language. One's in interpreting. Well, maybe Kiara's mom, if you're listening, then you could find out about my master's degrees. Anyway, but you guys can go leave a review wherever you listen to the podcast. That would be nice. Maybe you could get rid of that. Joe thinks it's killing me, but it's really not. I could live with it.
You're on some shit. Okay. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for choosing not to keep up with friends' activities and lifestyles? Interesting. I'm 34. I've known Jack for about 10 years. He's 33. We get along in more or less everything and have a plethora of shared mutual interests, musics, cars, gaming, work, etc. I think it is always he's my best friend, but I'm just one of his friends situation. We used to go out, play games, come over, hang out, all that. 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, have been battling it ever since. I am no longer showing signs of the disease, though, but my recovery to my former self will take a lot of time. My recovery to get back to my former self will take a lot of time, if even possible at all. He was a supportive friend for the last 4 years. there were some odd moments and clashes, but he explained them by saying that he just really didn't know how to properly deal and process with my situation, which is fair. That's weird. However, my last 4 years were bad for me in more ways than just my health. I've regressed in terms of living options, career, finance, etc. He progressed naturally, and that's fine, but I have no chance of catching up to him. He has no rental worries and is financially quite supported by his parents, which is great for him. And who the fuck is
I'm
34?
very confused. Sounds like children to me.
It does sound like children.
This is what I'm not like. First off, they said he likes games like me, cars.
I thought the same thing.
So I'm thinking like, okay, they were like childhood friends. Now I'm like, are they lovers? Or and now he's financially supported by the parents.
Gaspare,
I guess.
And 30 anything and still being financially supported by your parents? Hard pass.
Well, listen, if your parents can take care of you, I guess that's a wonderful thing, but you should be able to take care of yourself in your 30s.
Let me tell you what, if my kids need taken care of in their 30s, not happening.
Yeah,
not
but
happening.
You say that, but let's say that
if some shit happens, Gaspare, and they need to like move back in temporarily with their family, or they have to move back in temporarily, or like if I can help them get back on their feet by giving them, maybe a little bit of financial support for like fixed amount of time. But if you're thriving only because the backing of your parents, that's a no.
No, this whole story is weird. Reminds me of Big with Tom Hanks. Like, is this just a child just running around? Yeah. He's playing on the piano while his friends are
weird.
Finish it. I hate this story.
So he has no rental worries. He's financially quite supported by his parents, which is great for him. And I don't have any ill feelings towards him for that at all. But it's just mathematically impossible for me to have the same living standards as him. It started with smaller things. We wouldn't play games together. It's like, what the fuck? We wouldn't play games together anymore because my computer cannot play all of the newer games, and he doesn't want to play any older games that my computer can cope with. Now, that I do understand, you guys, because I actually run a podcast with a very good friend of mine, and my computer is always working, and their computer, for some reason, looks like they are in fucking Osama bin Laden's bunker trying to use starlight that just isn't coming over the area. It's like, Jesus, Gaspare.
Keep reading. I listen, I'm kind of invested, but also I don't even understand. This is like two children.
So childish. Like, this is so
Mommy
weird.
And daddy gave me money for Roblox.
I got to tell you some shit. If I was financially supporting my children in their 30s, which I wouldn't be. If I am financially supporting it, if you're in your 30s and I'm financially supporting you and I find out that in your free time you are playing fucking video games, I would lose my goddamn mind.
I agree with that.
I would be like, read a fucking book, open an Etsy shop, start panning for gold and making a gold cross and sell it to the church. I don't care. But you're not playing fucking video games.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking like if my father was still alive and I was like home, he would have made me paint every room in the house. And then when I was done painting them all, I would have had to start back over at the top and then just repaint them. Like there would have been no chill. Like it's not like how old? Well, you went away to college, right? So you moved out after you moved out when you were 18 for good? Or did you ever go back home?
No, my first teaching job. Do you care sharing how much you made your first job?
Yeah, I don't care.
What'd you make?
In New York City, first job teaching, we made $45,000.
Yeah, my first job teaching was like, it was either 32 or 36. It was like really, really low. And I had student loans to pay, car to pay, union dues, health insurance. And by the end of that, and I was only getting one paycheck a month. Like my checks were like literally less than $1,000, had to last me a whole month So I couldn't rent a place. I didn't even have the money to rent. So I lived with my parents in their basement for like the next like 2 years or 3 years until I moved in with 3 roommates.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Like, it's so
Yeah.
sad. Like, this is like a real career where you need multiple master's degrees. Like I have, Kiara.
Yeah.
And like my first year teaching, I lived home. And my first and second year I lived home. So I like basically like banked $90,000. Obviously, like just going out and living life. Like, you know, so I spent some of it, but like I didn't have to pay rent. But like my dad was like, you live here, like, so go shovel, go plant dirt. Like, it was like every Saturday morning was like, let me make it hell so that you want to move out. You know what I mean? Not that he wanted me to move out, because like they were very big into like save your money and buy a house. Don't pay someone else's mortgage. Like my parents were like huge, don't pay someone else's mortgage people. Like, you know, in the sense of like, don't rent, whatever. So, and then Melissa and I moved in after 3 years, you know, in my third year teaching, we moved in together.
Nice. My parents were always the same way too. They were like, don't rent. But on a teacher's salary, I was like, I can't buy ever, probably. Like, what do you expect me to do? I remember saving for a house and being like, if I'm saving not even I couldn't even save $10,000 a year. Yeah, no, it's hard. Listen, in the beginning, like the girl I teach with now, and this is like another thing of how we're realizing we're older. She was like, oh, like I had to be home, like, because otherwise my parents get upset. And I'm like, your parents? And then I'm like, oh yeah, like you're fucking 22 and you're making $60,000, which in New York, 60,000 is like, you know, comparative, whatever. I was like, a 1-bedroom apartment in Staten Island is $2,000. So like right there is $24,000 just in rent, plus her phone, plus this, plus I'm like, this girl, it's not worth it to move out. You know what I mean? Like, dude, and like no digs on Staten Island, but like if a 1-bedroom apartment in Staten Island is $2K, then like fucking Chelsea's got to be like $5,000.
Oh yeah, of course.
Studio.
You know, they just put out a thing this morning. I was reading it. The average home price in Staten Island right now is $750,000, and Staten Island's the cheapest borough, quote unquote,
of New York.
Out of the 5 boroughs: New York, Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island. It's the most affordable, and it's the medium average of house $750,000.
Wow. That's wild.
So like,
okay.
Brooklyn, it's like $1 million for a house. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Hey, I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. Unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also like to keep my money too. So after years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run. So I switched to Mint Mobile. I love Mint Mobile. It'll help me say bye-bye to overpriced wireless plans and jaw-dropping monthly bills and unexpected overages. So I got it because they're here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring home your phone number along with all your existing contacts. You can ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Now, if you like money, Mint Mobile is for you. So shop plans at mintmobile.com/social studies. That's mintmobile.com/social studies. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5GB plan required, which is the equivalent to a $15 a month plan. New customer offer for the first 3 months only. Then price plan options are available. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hi guys, you know that I love to eat. And when I eat, I like to eat things that are different. And the problem is I get such into a routine. You know, I'm eating pizza some nights. Then the next night I'm eating chicken nuggets. You know, I'm eating boneless wings. And like, although those things are good, I like to change it up once in a while. But I never know how to change it. I don't know what to do because although I come from a long line of Italian cooks, I myself did not get that gene. So I call my mom. Sometimes she doesn't answer the phone, but sometimes I just want something that's like, protein filled and fresh produce and organic and all these things that I wouldn't even know where to begin to find. But thankfully, with Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for clean eating, I can have pre-portioned and prepped quality whole foods with limited processed ingredients delivered right to my door. What I wanted to create better eating habits that last, and Green Chef makes it easier for me with their dietitian developed recipe options, fresh organic produce, all whole foods delivered right to my door. I got my health goals going in motion, and I am actually hitting them. Whether you're starting a weight loss journey, looking to maintain, looking to add a little extra fiber to your diet, trying to lower your saturated fat count, they have all these things. So stay on track with your busiest days and use a little Green Chef. They got even salads that are ready in 5 minutes or less. They got smoothies, grab and go protein, packed breakfast, and everything that you could think about. So what I want you to do is I want you to thrive all year with clean, easy meals from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/social studies free and use code social studies free to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. That's greenchef.com/social studies and use code social studies free to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. Anyway.
Okay, we should keep going on this.
I don't even understand this kid. He's mad that he can't play with his friend on Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, sidetrack this is for Kiera, since I interrupt you with stupidity. We got Gaspare the VR goggles for his birthday.
Yeah. Oh,
did you ever do them?
Flip? No, but one of my favorite things to do is watching people flip out.
It was adorable. He was so happy. He's been asking them for a while, and then we gave him like all these other gifts, and he thought he was getting it, and he was like, "Oh," and he was like happy, and then he was like, "Oh, what's this gonna be?" He was like shaking the box, then he opened it, and he was like, "Oh," and then I was like, "All right, bud, that's it. You happy?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm happy." Like he didn't want to be like no, but he was like not happy. And then I was like, "Oh wait, there's one more gift," and he just started running around the house like a crazy person. But anyway, but the VR goggles, the new ones, dude, you could walk around a city. You just walk around the city, and everybody who has these VR headset is in the city.
Really?
And you could just walk around and talk to people, and like walk into a McDonald's and walk into Foot Locker, and like with your money from the meta world, you can buy sneakers that you could then wear on your character. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't like it.
Yeah. And I was reading somewhere that said that like there's a McDonald's in the game and you could get it, and soon you'll be able to buy McDonald's and then they'll deliver it right to your house, your actual house. Like you're buying it in the game, but they're sending it to your house in real life.
Weird. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Kira, you're not wrong. So it was his computer was too old, so the guy wouldn't like play with games with him because he couldn't play the good games. Then
Mommy and Daddy wouldn't buy him a new computer.
Then we wouldn't go out together as I didn't have the spare cash to burn just like that. Recently, it all came to a clash over the choice of gyms. Before my illness, we used to go to the gym several times a month. I enjoyed swimming a lot. He's more of a general gym buff, but it worked for me as well for both of us. And we just rotated what we would do regularly. Are you in love with this guy?
I told you from the beginning, he's in love. This is a love story. I can't even decipher.
I lost a lot of weight and muscle mass during my treatment and have a severe lack of energy most days, but I wanted to slowly go back to get into shape. He, of course, was happy to get back into the game with me again, but he had recently joined a quite posh gym that's expensive and I just can't afford it. I offered that he joins me in my regular gym every now and then and I can use and then as a buddy on my membership using a buddy pass, but he refused. Essentially, it all turned into an argument where I purposefully didn't want to go to a game with him, go out with him, or go to the gym with him. I've tried explaining that I just can't afford that lifestyle anymore, but he just discredited that as a weak excuse. I've sent him 2 checkup messages since then, and he has not replied, although he has read them, actually. It's now been 7 days, and I assume things are over. It sounds silly for grown men, but I did cry a few times. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sorry. This is the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard.
But I did cry a few times over this. I've considered just going into... This guy said, fuck, no. Did he write this? I've considered just going into debt for as long as I can and just say fuck it, but I can't do that. Not because I'm sensible, but because my cancer could come. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because my cancer could come back and it would ruin me again. I don't think I've done anything wrong, but I am desperate for a neutral party here. Okay, here's your neutral party response. You're fucking need to chill out. Okay? If it's not working out, get new friends. You're obsessed with this guy. I feel like you want to bring him over for video game time so you can chloroform him and wear his skin. You fucking freak. This is bizarre behavior. This is not how 34-year-olds act.
Can you imagine someone our age doing this to us? Like, if I called you 5 times and you didn't answer me, I'd be like, well, Joe's a dick. And I would be done with you.
Dude, can I tell you about your and I's friendship? At first, I was like, because Gaspare and I, you guys, and unless we're like super busy, which does happen from time to time, we are like rapid fire texting. We'll call each other in the middle of the day just to tell each other like some dumb shit that happened. But I remember early on in your and I's relationship, I was like, oh, am I blowing this guy up too much? And you just like I was like, oh, he's okay. He's a chatter too. Let's just go for it. That's what I knew.
Well, and meanwhile, it's so funny because I used to be like, oh man, like, I don't want to bother this guy. He's like busy and famous and shit. But I'd be like, well, but this is funny. I was like, so I'm going to tell him and I don't give a fuck. Like,
I know. It's hilarious. No, this guy's a fucking freak.
No, this is bizarre behavior. Like, this is, first off, anyone who's like, should they just go into debt and join his gym?
What a fucking freak, man.
Should I just kill my family so I could be closer with him? Like, what? That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Nah. All right, Joe, I did find something on the internet that I loved and I wanted to share it with you. So it was the best inventions draft, like meaning like, but we're going to look at it differently. Like they basically just said, which one of these is the best invention? So we're going to go, I'm going to make our own little pool. Ready?
Okay.
The wheel versus the light bulb. Which one was a better invention?
Okay, this is hard.
Well, we're doing an invention Olympics right now. Wheel versus light bulb.
Okay, do we say it on 3?
No, because you're gonna well, give me your answer. Well, yeah, just say your answer.
The wheel was a better invention.
Oh, I think the light bulb.
No, we didn't need the light bulb. We had candles.
We need the wheel.
Yes,
yeah, but candles
sure did.
Look,
the wheel allowed
wrong.
us to carry heavy shit from place to place.
Yeah,
the wheel then became cars.
Yeah, you're right. But the light allows us to see
at night, and then you have candles, so you can still see at
but
night.
Right now,
fire.
Yeah, but you can't light a fire in your house. The whole world would be different right now, obviously, without both of them. I'm just thinking the convenience of the light. Oh, but I get what you're saying, because the wheel, we don't ever leave where we are then. Like, people don't travel from Africa into the Americas through Pangea, through the Barren Strait land bridge. Kiara, I guess I do know something, you know? So,
with a light bulb in their hand. Yeah.
Yeah, but all right, I'm going to go wheel with you, because we could have just walked, but like, what about when the wind? All right. The internet versus jet engines. I'm going to say internet.
Yeah, there's no like. Are you Chat GPTing yet?
I'm surface level.
I am quickly becoming novice level.
Yeah, no, I'm like just scratch the surface. Like I was
I
like,
was super
I'm against
skeptical.
it.
I was too, and I am still. But like, I started to realize that like,
This is the
just like when
future.
we were new teachers and all those old teachers were like refusing to do what we were doing and we just thrived and they didn't. I was like, if I don't jump on this shit, I'm going to fall behind. And I need to figure out how to make this work for me on what I'm trying to do. And dude, Gasper, I have literally I've been in my fridge. I talk to it. Okay. And I'll be in my fridge and I'll be like, you don't address it like Siri, so I'm just doing this for the story. But I'll be like, Chat GPT, I got a gallon of milk, some arborio rice, chicken, parsley, eggs, pickles, and cucumbers. What should I make for dinner? And I only want to go to the grocery store if it's 3 ingredients or more. And in a second, it'll be like, oh, you can make a pasta primavera with that using this, and
Yeah,
this.
it's wild.
Here's how to do it. And it's like, dude, my mom and dad, I'm sending them to Hawaii for their 40th wedding anniversary. And they were like, well, what are we going to do? Like, what's it going to be like? What's everything? And I was like, well, let's ask it. And they were like, they figured out their whole trip on Chat GPT. They figured out where they're going, what hotel they're staying at, if they need a car or not. Like, it is insane, dude.
Well,
So I was
I'll
like,
say
if
this.
you don't do this, if we're still scouring the internet and reading Google articles, it's going to take someone less than half the amount that it would take us to get the answer.
It takes even I'm out. So I'm on a professional development tomorrow, and I literally was like, oh, I need to leave sub work. So I'm Googling, and then I'm like, wait. And I said, Chat GTP, I said, give me something on the progressive era and the law reforms that were made for 10th grade students who are taking a regents exam with. And I said all this specific stuff. It made the best handout that I ever could have imagined.
Sure.
And I was like,
sure.
I was like, yeah, I'm not. Why would I look this up on my own? Like, it's here.
The thing is, though, is you do have to do your due diligence to like read through what it creates, because it's not perfect. It's not. Yeah.
So
and I don't think it ever will be.
I also did 2 things for comedy with it. I said, give me the name of the booker. So for those of you at home, I don't use an agent. I book everything myself. So like for shows and stuff. So I said, give me the name of every agent of every club in Chicago, Colorado. And it gave me a list of every club, every email address, every booker, everything. It was all on there. Some of it was right, some of it was wrong, but it still was on there. And then I emailed, and also I asked it I said, and I'm not doing this, but I just was curious, as now Joe looks up the name of every booker in
not
everywhere.
Every booker, but I do have a question to see if it's right.
I then looked up, I said, hey, Chat GTP, I want to do a tour, a stand-up comedy tour from New York to California where I'll drive. And it made me a map, Joe. It made me a map of every comedy club along the way. And it even said, like, on Monday night, do Greenwich Village Comedy Club. On Tuesday, you could drive 8 hours and be in Pittsburgh, and you could do Pittsburgh Improv. On Wednesday, you could do Cleveland, and it made like a full map. Was it right? Whatever you just looked up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, see, it's changing the game. That's why I don't have an agent. I have a chat. All right, so fuck the jet engine, because all that does is make us travel. That's what we got the wheel for.
Wow.
Okay. Next, this is a good one. The printing press or the automobile? I'm going to say, oof.
Dude, I don't think, I straight up don't think you could have one without the other.
And then we would never have been able to spread any knowledge or information without the printing press.
That's not true. It just wouldn't have been at the level of
because it would have been word of mouth. And
no, you could write by hand.
Yeah, but like then no books, no new ideas. The printing press is what sparks revolutions throughout the whole world. All this crazy stuff because then people were able to spread ideas faster without handwriting it. That's a hard one. Um, I'm gonna go printing press. I think
Okay,
it's more important.
I think so too.
All right, this is a good one. Gunpowder or the refrigerator?
Refrigerator.
Yeah, because gunpowder really is just for violence and fireworks and like blowing up like mountains to get like supplies.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, fridge. All right, this is a really good one. Penicillin or fire?
What was more important?
Just best invention. Penicillin or fire?
Fire.
Fire, because you could burn out the problems. I was reading this book about this tribe in Africa, and when oh my god, I hate the fucking
They stuff
story.
some shit in your penis or something.
When they turn 13, the boys, they heat up a needle, get them a little erect, and then stick the hot needle in the penis to like
Why?
Why? To clear up any like infections that could be in there.
And they still do it?
Yeah. So
No.
all right. Sewage, like plumbing, or condoms, or like contraceptives for male and female birth control.
Sewage.
Yeah, because you can always pull out. Where are we going to put all that shit? All right. So, all right, the wheel versus the internet. Now we're just doing the finale.
Wheel.
Wheel. Yeah. Refrigerator versus printing press.
Refrigerator. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, because we lived
Printing
for thousands
press.
of years without a refrigerator, so who cares? You could just put.
Yeah,
you know how
could
they
just
used to
dig
keep
a fucking hole or pickle.
You know how they used to keep meat, good.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
used to just coat it in salt.
Yeah, like prosciutto.
And then they used to travel it across the lands, and then the kings would scrape all the salt off and eat it. All right, so we're gonna go printing press, fire versus plumbing.
Fire.
Yeah, because otherwise we die of the cold. And now it's fire versus printing press versus wheel, because we have 3 left. Dude, is the wheel the most important invention in history?
No.
The printing press is out. I say it's between fire and the wheel.
Wheel for sure.
No, fire. Because fire cooks things. So we can eat with fire. We can heat with fire. We don't ever have to leave.
Fire. Also, I don't think some of these things you really could compare. Like you couldn't compare fire to the internet. Like that's too extreme.
Well, it was just best invention in history, whatever that meant.
Whatever. What do you guys think? Let us know on Patreon, patreon.com/social studies podcast. You guys, thanks for being here. We love you deep down in the depths of our
refrigerated hearts.
In our refrigerated hearts. See me on the road, thejoedombrowski.com.
And GaspareRandazzo.com.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.